Welcome back to another Icarus episode. It was time to take my pack of wolves out on a bit of a hunt. I had spotted what looked like another cave to explore. I wanted to see how they would deal with things and if I could avoid my usual death as well. On top of that, I was not quite sure how it would be with moving them from a bigger distance than I have in the past, as times can get slowed down for no reason or run off and start fighting things. Sometimes they failed to keep up. The game would spawn them next to me if I stopped long enough somewhere. Other times, just stopping for a short amount of time was all they needed to catch back up with me. So far, they have done a lot better job than I was expecting. I was also right. This spot ended up being another cave. It's a bit of a shame they don't have inventory. I'd have loved a little help carrying back a bunch of extra or, while I could have taken the buffalo out on this trip, I did not want to overcomplicate things. I could get used to having wolves to help me out when dealing with hostiles. One thing I needed to keep an eye out for was making sure they had enough food and water. Once they get low on either one of those, they lose a lot of damage and health regeneration. I also wanted to make sure they were doing all right on health as well. There ended up being another issue I did not take into account. That was bees. Despite how quickly my wolves attack, there was no way they could reach the hive to take it out. It also seemed they were not so great at killing bees either. At least I had a lot of or once again to farm. At this point, I had also put quite a few points into my ability to carry items, along with reducing the weight of things like ores, so I was starting to be able to hold rather insane amounts. Still not enough to haul back in a single trip one of these smaller caves. It was at least a lot better than the early days. At this point, the bees were getting beyond annoying. I was half tempted to just run out and get what I needed to make arrows. The bees were slowly working on my health. At least my wolves were still in decent shape despite the constant attacks from the bees. Now that my inventory was full due to weight, it was time for me to start thinking about heading home. I'm sure at this point the wolves wanted some food and water anyway, while I did bring some along with me just in case. For now, they were good enough. I don't know what it is with me and bad timing with storms. Already being on low health, this was going to be a little more questionable trip back home than I was hoping. I, however, did not want to stay in here much longer. The longer I was in a cave, the better chance I'd have of getting cave lung. I'm kind of shocked we even made it back in mostly one piece. It was time to rest up and work on getting my third wolf tame. At least I got a decent amount of ores to smelt up, along with some exotics to turn in as well. It was a decent little test of how the wolves would do and farming a new cave. One upgrade I was looking forward to was getting some iron cupboards installed. While not a massive upgrade over the wood, I'll take any further storage space I can get, with these made out of iron and not wood. So I no longer feared losing them if somehow lightning took out the roof and then hit my storage area. I now have a third wolf. While he is quite a bit behind in levels than the others, I'm kind of hoping they will be strong enough soon that I can just leave them out to wander around and help carry the leveling process of my other tames. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for further content.